Unidentified creatures wreak havoc for a team of astronauts during a mission to colonize Mars. A Chinese rescue team is sent in with two primary mission goals. They must identify the source of the strange creatures and bring back any surviving members of the original team. But as an asteroid hurtles towards the Martian base, they're stuck with no way off the planet and little time to find one. In 2042, Chinese astronaut Wei Yifeng discovers that Martian soil can support plant life. This means that Earth will be able to colonize, saving the planet from a growing lack of resources. Meanwhile, fellow scientist Richard crossbreeds a chameleon with a bearded dragon in hopes of creating a creature adaptable to the Martian environment. But their successes are threatened when asteroids begin raining from the sky. As Wei Yi tries to escape in his rover, Richard's team prepares to evacuate. Wei Yi's rover is soon overtaken by a windstorm. The storm worsens, and Anna worries that Wei Yi hasn't made it back yet. Richard tells her to board the ship with Thomas, while he waits for Wei Yi. As Wei Yi spots the escape pod in the distance, the rover loses power. He's forced to finish the journey on foot, as Richard notices a giant whale-like creature in the sky behind him. Wei Yi makes it to Richard with just 10 seconds left before takeoff. They blast into the sky, but an attack by the whale sends them crashing into the sand below. On a nearby Chinese spaceship, Li Zhang admires the view of Mars. But for Wei Yi's son Tong, Mars is a harsh reminder of the day his father left for space. Wei Yi enters the base and loads a distress signal onto the computer, when dripping saliva signals something lurking above him. It won't be long before Tong learns of his father's fate. Back at Mission Control, Commander Liu gets a call from the commander of the Mars mission. He shares Wei Yi's distress signal and asks Liu to send their nearest ship on a rescue mission. Liu's team has doubts. Their current mission to Europa took 8 years to plan, and they don't want to waste all that effort. But Liu calls the Chinese ship to order the mission anyway, ordering Captain Du Ping to save the survivors and figure out what attacked them. Communication specialist Shan warns Ping that this might endanger the Europa mission, but medic Shi Qing argues that saving lives is more important. Ping decides to accept the mission, ordering Shan to stay on board while the others come with him. They board a lander and slowly descend towards Mars. Shortly after entering the atmosphere, they hear a whale song and see the creature. They ask Shan to identify it, but lose their communication signal. As the whale tries to attack, they thrust away at the last second. When it turns to attack again, Tong disables the thrusters. They plummet towards Mars, but Tong reignites the thrusters and safely touches down. They're safe, but the fuel they've just burned is going to be a problem. Ping's mildly injured on landing, but there are greater concerns. Tong checks the lander data and reports they don't have enough fuel to make it back to the ship. They touch ground and Ping splits them into teams. Tong and Shi Qing will look for the survivors, while Zhang and Ping search for fuel at the base. Meanwhile, Shan's still unable to reach the team, and gets permission from Liu to open communications with the base, in case they make it there alive. Ping and Zhang soon find Wei Yi's rover outside the base, and come up with a new plan. Zhang will search for fuel alone, while Ping uses the rover to bring the others to the base. Ping radios Tong and asks him to send the location of the escape pod. When Tong and Shi Qing enter the pod, they find Thomas lifeless. Richard and Anna have survived, but Anna's in a temporary coma. As Zhang explores the base alone, a creature stalks him from behind closed doors. The team soon reaches the base and brings Anna inside, where Shi Qing begins medical treatment. Tong asks Richard if he saw what attacked their pod, but he says he fell unconscious during the escape attempt. We'll soon learn he knows more than he's letting on. Anna's life signs, meanwhile, begin failing, and Shi Qing tries to revive her. As Ping considers finding another method of escape besides the lander, they hear a noise in the hall and the door slides open. Tong slowly moves to investigate, grabbing an axe on the way. But when he swings the axe, he nearly hits Zhang. As Shi Qing manages to revive Anna, Ping decides to look for fuel himself, while Tong and Zhang find Wei Yi. The two soon find blood on the wall, following it to a greenhouse. As they search the room, Zhang is suddenly grabbed by a long tongue. Tong beats it away, and they quickly meet a large reptile face to face. They run away and split up. Zhang soon trips and falls, as Tong is grabbed by the creature's tongue. Zhang realizes he's tripped over Wei Yi, who's unconscious but still breathing. Tong manages to kick the creature away and knock a shelf onto it. As Ping finds fuel, he gets a call from Zhang that they've found Wei Yi. Ping tells Richard to load the fuel onto the rover, as he goes to meet the others. Tong tries to help Wei Yi to safety, but Zhang spots the creature lurking on a shelf. He manages to distract it, but their noisy escape attempt draws its attention. As they make it to the hall, the creature follows and pounces on Tong. When he's saved by Ping, they stop to wonder how this creature got into the base. Richard watches them, seemingly knowing the answer, but the more important question is whether the creature will let them leave. Back in the medbay, Wei-Yi wakes up. He's confused to see Tong there, but Ping explains their rescue mission. Richard asks what happened after Wei-Yi left the escape pod. He recalls that after he sent the distress signal, he was attacked and fled to the greenhouse, but he can't remember anything after that. When he finishes speaking, they notice Richard has disappeared with one of Shi-Ching's syringes. Meanwhile, an asteroid hurtles towards Mars, and Lu learns that it will hit the planet in 12 hours. He calls Shan and tells her they need to finish their mission by then, but she still hasn't been able to contact the team. As Richard injects the reptile with medicine, the others find him and ask what he's doing. He reveals that this is the same lizard-chameleon hybrid from his earlier experiment. While researching how to adapt humans to Mars, he found living bacteria on debris from an asteroid shower and introduced it to whale embryos, as well as the chameleon. These have both now mutated into creatures capable of surviving the Martian environment. If he can start mutating humans in the same way, the Earth can begin to colonize. Wei-Yi believes Richard is crazy, but it doesn't matter. After the chameleon recovers, it swallows Richard in a single gulp. It then mutates further and grabs Tong, but Shi-Ching frees him by cutting its tongue with the axe. They run and grab Anna before escaping through the halls, with the lizard in pursuit. It tries to grab Tong again, but he rolls out of the way and closes the door on it. They're safe for now, but can they escape with the creature blocking their path? Zhang decides their best bet is to make an explosive and gets to work as Ping discovers a message from Shan telling them that the asteroid will hit in just 4 hours. Zhang nearly finishes the explosive device, but needs white sugar. Unfortunately, to find it, they'll need to get past the chameleon. Ping grabs a flamethrower and says he and Tong will finish the device, while the others escape to the rover. Zhang gives Tong the device, and Ping beats the creature back with flames as the others escape down a side hall. With 2 hours before the asteroid hits, Lu tells Shan that it appears to be on course to hit the base. Ping and Tong reach the living area, where Ping guards the door while Tong searches the cabinets. The chameleon is revealed to be camouflaged in the room and begins attacking Ping. As Tong finds the sugar and a childhood photo he took with Wei-Yi, the chameleon manages to disarm Ping. He tries to reach his weapon, but the chameleon blocks his path and knocks him across the room before busting down the door and stealing the sugar. It grabs Tong's arm, but Ping distracts it with the flamethrower. Tong finds more sugar and begins finishing the explosive, while Ping gets a call from Shi-Ching. They've reached the rover, but they're running out of time. As Ping and Tong try to leave with the device, Tong is grabbed by the chameleon. He attempts to arm the bomb and hand it to Ping, but Ping blasts the chameleon and it drops him. Ping manages to beat it back, but there's still another creature overhead awaiting their escape. Ping helps Tong out of the room and closes the door between them. With the device's timer broken in the fall, he has to activate it manually. He names Tong the new captain, ordering him to complete the Mars and Europa missions to save as many people on Earth as possible. Tong tearfully accepts his command as the chameleon recovers. Ping activates the explosive and orders Tong to run. Tong exits the base and rejoins his team, driving away as the base explodes. As they cross the Martian desert, they realize they'll still have to face the whale. When they arrive at the lander, the others board, while Wei-Yi speaks with Tong. After he gives Tong the first meteorite he ever picked up on Mars, Tong angrily asks Wei-Yi if he ever regretted leaving his family. Wei-Yi explains that he made a sacrifice. He chose to save as many people as possible, knowing it would give Tong a better life as well. Now that Tong is walking the same path, he hopes his son will never regret it. Tong forgives him, inviting him to New Year's dinner when they return to Earth. But with the asteroid drawing ever closer, will they make it home at all? The team contacts Shan and learns they only have 15 minutes left. But Zhang and Shi-Ching have been doing calculations. Based on the whale's speed and position, there's no way to get past it, nor do they have the time or means to destroy it. Wei-Yi suggests they adjust their angle of takeoff. It'll be a gamble, but it's the best plan they have. Soon realizes he left his research data on the rover and runs to retrieve it. But after he leaves, Zhang finds his data on the lander. Shi-Ching looks out the window and sees Wei-Yi driving away. He radios Tong and admits that he lied. He has a plan, and he's leaving to deal with the whale himself. He wants Tong to bring his research home and give hope to the human race. recalling the brief time they had together before Wei Yi left. He says that Tong has always made him proud. This sacrifice is his last chance to be a father. Tong weeps, begging him to return, but Wei Yi shuts off communications as he drives toward the whale. Tong wants to go after him, but Shiqing says that if they don't escape before the asteroid hits, Ping and Wei Yi will have sacrificed themselves for nothing. Wei Yi enters the escape pod and blasts off, leaving a goodbye message as he enters the clouds. As the whale swallows him, the pod explodes and takes the monster with it. The lander takes off just before the asteroid hits, and they make it back to the ship, where Shan silently realizes that Ping isn't with them. Lu soon receives a transmission from Shan, informing him that the mission was a success, but the mood grows heavier as she tells him of their losses. They all solemnly salute each other as the ship begins its return to Earth. Click one of the videos on screen right now